We're live.
Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Cody. Today I'll be making pumpkin pie. Here's the pumpkin I'll be using. Normally I'm against using canned pumpkin, but I don't have any pumpkins at the moment as it is, March. So I'll put in some pictures of when I actually did make a pumpkin with pumpkin. I suppose I could have made pie out of Jack here, but he's been here for a while, since Halloween, and I've become quite fond of him. I like to see him whenever I open the freezer, and I think he's safe for now. I don't think I'll make pumpkin pie out of him just yet. But for now I'll be using this canned pumpkin. This comes with a nifty little recipe on the side, and I'll actually be following this today. But as you know, I don't follow it exactly. So, what do we need from here? Let's break a few eggs. Recipe calls for 2 eggs, so naturally I'll use 3 because I am at a rather high altitude, and you should really always add an extra egg. Besides, these eggs are for my chickens, and they're not all very large, so that's a kind of a smallish egg, so adding a third one's not going to make that much of a difference. So there's my eggs. Throw the shells over there. Next I'm going to add in the sugar. It calls for about a cup of sugar, so that looks about right. And where'd my whisk go? Where's my whisk? There it is. I got a whisk. Go ahead and whisk these eggs with the sugar. You mix the eggs with the sugar, that way the eggs are more broken up. If you just put in the eggs after something, they would not mix in properly, and you wouldn't get this nice homogeneous mixture. Alright, eggs. Now I don't have any condensed milk, so I'm just going to be throwing in this powdered milk, and I'll be sure to add in a little extra water later on. Looks about right. Put that milk in there. That good and stirred. Throw in a little splash of water here, just to make up for the fact that I didn't add any with the milk. Whisks are good for this mixing. Okay. What else do we need here? We need some spices, of course, and the pumpkin. So, let's open the pumpkin. Use my knife opener here. Okay. One of my spoons, spoon this out. Okay, there's my pumpkin. Let's go ahead and mix that in now. It's always good to stir after adding every ingredient, so you make sure everything gets good and mixed. And a whisk is very good for stirring. You can stir almost anything with a whisk. Alright, now for the spices. I'm going to throw in a little bit of nutmeg. I like nutmeg, so I put a little bit more than what the recipe calls for. Actually, the recipe calls for pumpkin spice. Who would use pumpkin spice? A little cinnamon, a little ginger. That's good enough. And like always, never add more than 3 ingredients or spices, because that's pretty much all that the human tongue can taste. Let's break up those ginger clumps a little. Go ahead and stir that in. Alright, let's give that a little taste. Excellent. So this is done. I'm going to move on to the pie crust. Probably should have done that before, the pie crust before, but I didn't think about it at the time, so I'll just put this in something, or mix up the crust in something else. So I'll set this aside while I make the crust. Go ahead and put it. Alright, so we got the pumpkin safely stored in this little Tupperware container. That ought to keep it for a little while. Now let's start on the pie crust. The pie crust is going to be made out of flour, sugar, and butter. Where's the butter? Hold on, let me find some butter. So I just discovered that I do not have any butter. So I'm going to have to make some of my own. Fortunately, I have some heavy whipping cream, which I got for, well, whipping. But heavy whipping cream can, as you know, be made into butter. So I got me a little plastic bottle here. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of, maybe a little bit more. It does reduce in volume when it turns into butter. Okay, so you got that. And now, I just shake it up. Starting to turn into butter. Look at that. Wow, this is sure an arm workout. Getting there. Yes. Alright, let's go and cut it open. Alright, let's see what we got here. There's the whey. Looks like some butter. Let's try some of that. There's butter. Alright, let's see if we can straighten off this whey. Got me a nice clean rag there. Oh, look at that. Just a few minutes of shaking and I've turned that whipping cream into butter. Alright, let's see what we got. That looks like butter, yeah? Alright, let's use this to make our pie crust. There's some whey here. I'm drinking this. Tastes like milk. Alright. Alright, so got my butter. Let's add in some flour. Looks like about right. And of course a little bit of sugar. Let's mix these up. Alright, just mix this up. That's pretty close to being pie dough. Yep. Alright, I had to go to a different camera there because my camera died, but I have pie crust. Very nice. Now, I don't actually have a pie tin, so I'm going to be using this pan, because it's kind of pie shaped. So I'm just going to be throwing the pie crust in here, like so. See, most people roll out their crust and lay it in. I figure that's alright, but I prefer to do it this way. Just throw these pieces in there, push it down nice and get a nice even crust here. Yeah, good. On the sides here, again, just putting pieces in and then smash them down with the fingers. It may not look as nice as anything, but it's going to give me a nice thick crust. I mean, the crust is supposed to be good, a major part of the pie, right? So there we are. That's probably about the depth I need. A little extra in these spaces. And I'm also going to take this here and roll it out. Just push those down, make it all nice and even. Okay. I'm going to take this, put a little pinch crust around the edge here. Eventually I'm going to take this pie out of the pan if possible. That's how I'll serve it. It won't be in the pan all the time. Okay, so got me a finished crust here. Got a nice little lip on the edge there. Looks like it's pretty even, but really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and pour in our filling. Oh, look at that. That is excellent. Got my spoon. Okay. Let's give that a little shake to level everything. Okay. And in honor of Pie Day, I'm going to go ahead and put a 2 pie. There we go. Actually, tell you what. Let's. It's not very defined there, so let's use a little bit of cinnamon here. Actually, I have a brilliant idea. Let's cinnamon the whole thing. Oh yeah. Ooh. Cinnamon the whole thing. And now, let's put the 2 in. And the pie. Say 2 pie because there's 2 pie here. I know, crazy, right? Alright. That didn't turn out quite like I thought it would, but it looks good enough. Let's go pop it in the oven. Come on here. Alright, I got the oven at 375 degrees it looks like. Let's turn on that light. Go ahead and pop this in right there. And now we wait till it's done. Alright, the pie looks done. There it is. Go ahead and get it out of there before it burns. Oh, yeah, very nice. Go ahead and skewer it. Exactly, and excellent. Alright, now I just let it cool off. It'll take several hours to cool off, probably. There's my 2 pie. Not the prettiest in the world, but I'm sure it'll taste just fine. In a few hours when it's cooled off, I'll go find some taste testers. It's been cooling for a few minutes, or actually maybe closer to half an hour. And you can see that the pie has started to sink back down. When it cooks, it'll rise up, and then once it's completely dome shaped, and that's how I knew it was done. And as it cools, it'll sink back down. Yeah, it's kind of cool how pumpkin pie does that. Okay, I have removed the pie from the pan. Very nice looking pie. Let's go ahead and make some whipped cream. Got some cream and sugar in here. I'm just going to whip it like this. And I'll show you what happens after a few minutes of that. Alright, there's whipped cream. And it's very simple. Just literally whip the cream. Alright, I'll have that available for the pumpkin pie. You can see I've already eaten a few pieces and I figured it needed a bit of cream. Okay, it's the whipped cream there. Alright, so here's my official taste tester. You gonna try my pie? Can you describe the flavors to us?
Pumpkiny with a nice touch of cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger.
Nice.
Very nice.
What do you think of the crust?
Perfect.
Excellent.
Not too crunchy, not soft, but it's in between. Alright.
Let's give this a try. Happy Pie Day. That's delicious.
Alright, so
Is that it? Thanks for watching. That's it all for now, folks.